Hi ladies, it's Pat and I'm here to share with you a charm that I did for swap on Life on the Scrap Beach. This was a vintage lady charm, a swivel clasp charm swap. It was kind of inspired by the Lady's Diary collection from Graphic 45, but it wasn't a requirement to use that collection. In fact, I've seen some charms that were made without the Lady's Diary that are very, very pretty. But I was dying to use the Lady's Diary collection, and I hadn't used it for anything else. And it's such a pretty, pretty collection that I decided to go ahead and let it inspire me on this charm. This was a charm I was thinking about for about a month before I did it. And I always envisioned that I would use a lot of pearls when I made the charm. A lot of pearls and a lot of the, bead caps and metal. And actually what happened when I made the charm, I ended up using a lot of crystal and I really had to work the pearls in. So one of the requirements for the swap was to use, I think it was two or three, I forget, items that would kind of remind you of a vintage lady, like, any kind of those little charms. I know I have some that are like little vanities or combs or things like that, but when I really went to look at them, they were all silver, and I knew that I wanted to do this charm in an antique bronze. So I instead went with kind of the Lady's Diary I guess theme, and I added my charms are the Tim Holtz heart key, a little small key, and then I broke into my Prima lockets, and these are all functioning lockets that are on the charm. So those ended up being and I have a couple of other, there's a little butterfly and this little tassel, but those were the main items that I used. Then in addition, on the tag, I have the lock from Tim Holtz. So just I guess first to talk about how I made the charm. It has a swivel, but I didn't hang it from the swivel. You could, but I put a key ring on the swivel, and you can see here that the swivel is just dangling there because I wanted to use chains to hang from the key ring. So just bring the charm a little bit closer. So these are all crystal beads with a variety of the bead caps, the cone bead caps, and some of my favorite bead caps. This one is actually bead landing that I get at Michael's. And the cones I've gotten a variety of places, but I just think that they're so pretty, and this crystal just seemed to speak to me this time. So there are a lot of the crystals with different kinds of bead caps and metal. And here's the small cone with the pearl and the little butterfly. The heart is hanging from a Seven Gypsies vintage pin, and I love these pins. Out of all the pins that I've tried, these hang the straightest, and they just kind of give the best effect. I've ordered some more of them, but they're kind of hard to find. So they're called, they're Seven Gypsy. I'm trying to think if they call them wire pins or exactly what they do call them. But I like them better than any of the other pins. And I have a lot of garment pins, and I've got the Tim Holtz wire pins and various things. Here's another bead with the, it's kind of like a pink crystal, and then the bead cap with the filigree. And then a couple more of the crystals and the bead caps, and then this is a fancy little bead right here. And then this is the main chain. It has a crystal here, and this is the one that always, there's a main chain that hangs lower than the others. A crystal and then a pink bead with the tassel. And then this milk glass, which is, I would help, I guess, if I get it back into the frame. It is from, whoops, guess I'll have to put that back on. It's from Prima. And then this is the locket, which I will reattach onto the little ring here. So going on to talk about the tag. So this time I always want to do now tags that can either lay flat, as this can, or a tag that will stand up. And so this one I wanted to do like it was actually a lady's diary. So on the front cover I have my favorite I Am Roses. This is the curly rose, the cherry blossom, the daisy, and these are two of those little S10 roses. And then here is a, I forget what you call these, kind of transparent leaves, and then most of these leaves are from Prima actually, and then this is another leaf from I Am Roses. This is painted, and the way that I paint them is I use glimmer mist I just squirt that on my craft sheet, brush it on until I get the color that I want, and then I use this heavy-bodied white paint. This is just Liquitex heavy-bodied titanium white, but it's very thick. It lasts a long time. You don't need very much, and it has a lot of substance to it, so you can use it to especially like on these roses on the edges, and it doesn't require, you know, it's very random, so it doesn't require a real steady hand or anything. It's very easy to do, and I like the end result. Then here is a butterfly, which is from Studio Calico, and they're the little butterflies that they look like this. So this is painted with glimmer mist, and then it's stamped. And I don't know how good that stamp is going to show up on the video. I'm going to maybe move it a little bit closer. It's always hard for me to tell what the video is actually picking up, but it's stamped actually with one of the stamps that goes with the Lady's Diary collection. So it's just like a handwritten effect on there. And then this is a pocket. And so when I send these off, I'll just stick my card in here like that. Then you open it up, and it has just, these are blank pages so that people can put in pictures or whatever they want. And the way that I made this is I took a really good cardstock. This happened to be from Paper Tray Ink. I think it's Vintage Cream. And inside of here are two 4x8 or 4x9, excuse me, 4x9 pieces of heavy cardboard, chipboard, and then there's just a white, the cream on the top, and then on the bottom. And then I just took this extra paper and bound it. It's just a little string binding, and so you could add extra pages to this if you wanted to, whatever you would like to do. This is again the script stamp from the Lady's Diary collection, and then this is also a stamp from the Lady's Diary collection. So when I did this, Of course, I don't usually hook these charms on the left side, but I did for this one because I wanted to use the flowers, and that made it, of course, it wasn't going to stand up because it was heavy there, so I had to put some weight on the back, and I did that by using the Tim Holtz memory key, as well as this little charm that I've also attached with a Seven Gypsies pin, and then it's just, you know, attached on there with a ribbon. But I want to show you what this is because I was so fascinated with it, and after I figured it out, I found it in Tim Holtz's book. But this is one of the Tim Holtz Ideology cash keys, and I bought these because I like the cash keys, but when I was trying to go through everything to find something heavy, because the key wasn't quite heavy enough, and these are heavy, I looked at this and then I realized that it actually would be very easy to change into something because it comes with this little cover, and all I had to do was stick this down on the paper, cut around it, and then kind of file off the rough edges, and then attach it onto the plate with a little bit of glossy accents. So, and although I was using an antique bronze for everything on this, this has such an aged look to it that it kind of blended in. So I wanted to show you guys that in case you wanted to get it. And after I did this, I was looking through the book 2, the Compendium of Curiosities, and I did see them mention that you could do this with a cash key, so I don't know why I hadn't thought of it before. So that's my charm. It's my little stamp, and you'll see on this one that there's actually a little cutout, and then that's stamped and it's on the, and that's probably because I stamped upside down. Sometimes I do that. And so I just cut out the correct, you know, rather than redo the book. We all know how to fix our mistakes, and I just re-stamped it and put it on there. And then this is the back, which is another page from the Lady's Diary. Beautiful, beautiful paper. And I can't wait to do a mini with the paper because it's so pretty. So that is that. And then I want to show you that I was so inspired when I started working on this and using the roses that I wanted to make some other things. And whenever I make my roses, I always do, with the painted roses, I do more than I need. And I put them in this little box. This little box was starting to get too full. So I decided I needed to make something. And I made this little mailbox. And it's just a little tiny mailbox. In fact, as you'll see, the flowers that are in the front are just sitting there. But it's great because I have some larger ones, and I love, for Christmas, I love the rose and green and cream color combination. So I'm going to take my larger mailboxes and make some centerpieces for Christmas. Now, this has been sitting, this little thing has been sitting on my desk for a while because I always have stuff on my desk that when I have my white paint out, that I'll just go ahead and use extra paint on it so that it doesn't get wasted. And so I just was feeling really creative, and I made this little, I seem to have this little, I don't know, such a desire to do these little things to put my cards in, but I made this little box to hold my, they're like business cards, but I just use them to include in my swaps. And it's made so that it actually is meant to be open, and has the flowers and the butterflies and then some pearls going around. and you can just put you can put anything in it, but you can put your cards in it. And then I took the very first card and I put a butterfly on it. And then of course I'll always use the second card, and so on and so on. So anyway, that's it, and thank you all for watching, and I'll be back soon with another project. Thanks.